Dakota Gas has faced a year of challenges. Dave Sauer took over as the new Chief Operating Officer in May. He says from new management at the helm to retirements to the black plant, it's been quite a year. But teamwork at the Great Plains SYNFUELS plant has made all the difference. One of the biggest projects underway now is the evaluation of the urea plant. Urea is produced using anhydrous ammonia and carbon dioxide. It's used as a solid nitrogen fertilizer. It costs less to handle, store, and transport than other nitrogen-based fertilizers. Bob FAGERSTROM is Vice President of Strategic Studies for Dakota Gas. Urea would be the 10th co-product produced at the SYNFUELS plant.
We are targeting the second quarter of 2017 for startup and full operation.
As regulations change and anhydrous ammonia is going to get harder to ship by rail, this allows us to move a product and produce a product that is able to ship without having those restrictions into the marketplace.
Steve Liebelt is Vice President of Marketing and Sales. While urea would be a new product his team will take on, there have been other changes in his area as well. In the past, each section was very vertical. There was customer service, sales, and marketing, not a good separation of duties, and a lot of paperwork. Their job is to maximize margins for all of the co-products and byproducts, and they can do that better now.
Well, by adding additional staff, we've now separated that into a sales and a marketing group, and therefore the marketing people can do all the research and get all the value stuff and determine what that value is, and then our salespeople go out and find the customers to supply that marketplace.
Yet another product they'll be able to start selling is synthesis gas. Syngas is the product that is used to make synthetic natural gas, among other things. Dakota Gas will sell syngas at a margin above the price of natural gas. FAGERSTROM says there is a market for companies who don't want to invest in the infrastructure but could use the product.
There's a lot of benefit to our potential customers, not only from that aspect, but also we have a lot of infrastructure located out at DGC that they and us can benefit from.
This year's outage at the SYNFUELS plant was used as a way to get projects done that would help make more money, too. An effort toward total process reliability. Dale Johnson is the new plant manager.
We recognize, as this plant is aging, that we need to get more engaged in reliability and making the place run more consistently, higher availability. That's how we're going to make more profits. And also it makes the facility safer to work in. A facility that breaks down and fails is not as safe as reliable facilities. In the case of a black plant, we shut down everything. The utilities get shut down, and even to the point of having electricity shut off in certain cases.
Tim Seidler is the gas production section manager and on the team that organized the outage.
At the peak of the turnaround work, we had like just under 1,400 contractors out here, plus our normal staff. And there were 5 major projects that we undertook and a lot of minor projects throughout the areas.
The number of tasks was like 7,000 tasks. But some of those were very large, like tying in that clean cooling water system.
Keith Harlstead was in charge of the Clean Cooling Water Project, the project that required the black plant to happen. All systems are tied to this unit. Construction began in the spring of 2012. Then, during black plant, they did testing.
We operated the system as an island. Essentially filled the tank, ran the water through the pumps and the exchangers through a closed circuit. So we could test the system and make sure, we didn't have leaks, that the pumps were putting out the proper amount of water and so forth.
Even then, once the plant was operating again, they found a leak. The plant was shut down again to fix the problem, a baffle wall inside the tank that started tearing away from its foundation.
The decision was made, cut the baffle out, repair the floor, and operate the tank without the baffle.
Preventative maintenance was also done during the black plant. Beth Shetler is the project manager on the project to replace the 2 spray cooler vessels.
Our biggest challenge was getting the 2 vessels here. They were complete. They were built by Arrow in Cambridge, Minnesota. We had a very wet spring, so the load restrictions were on. The first one was almost a month late getting here. The second one was a good 2 weeks late getting here.
Other big projects during the black plant included insulation replacement and electrical work. At the ammonia plant, the regenerator was replaced. That was part of an undertaking to make the ammonia plant more reliable.
Looking at probabilities of failure based on operating conditions, metallurgy, I mean, it's a very, very complex system, and I know for a fact that the reliability of that portion of the plant is really going to increase tremendously.
We've accomplished a lot in this outage. I feel like the plant is going to be much more reliable going into the future.
There are a couple more projects that will help the SYNFUELS plant make money. First, the tar oil stripper unit started up in February. Reducart works with the unit.
Excitement about another product and the value behind it definitely had people excited to see it up and running and know that it was going to help the long-term success of the plant.
Plus, rail loadout was expanded for tar oil. TODD says the result is being able to ship more product more quickly.
Whenever we had to do naphtha, we couldn't do tar oil. We could only do one rail car at a time. At best, we could do 3 in a day. The tar oil expansion has given us 4 additional load stations. We can load 4 rail cars at a time, and we've been able to increase from 3 cars a day to 12 cars a day.
Work on total process reliability continues with 5 working groups: reliability engineering, materials management, work management, loss elimination, and operations focus.
Relatively small groups, but all very diverse. We try to keep a combination of engineers and technicians and supervisors, and just looking at the business from several different aspects. And it's really that diversity that really makes the team more dynamic and more complete.
As far as retirements go, Dakota Gas expects some departments will see most of their employees retire in the next 5 to 10 years. Many of the employees started working at the SYNFUELS plant in their early 20s.
Our turnover rates were very low throughout the 90s and early 2000s. We barely saw 1% attrition. Well, now with the retirements, it can be planned so we can train ahead, but it's challenging. We have a lot of very talented people that are retiring. And
teamwork helped the SYNFUELS plant reach a major milestone in February. The plant delivered its 25 millionth metric ton of carbon dioxide to the Canadian oil fields for enhanced oil recovery. And teamwork helped the SYNFUELS plant successfully pass another audit to remain designated as a responsible care company by the American Chemistry Council. In fact, the plant received 2 awards in May.
And it's just a whole nother learning curve, and how do we get better and how do we continually improve as a company. And our people really have that spirit about them, and continuous improvement is a key to everyone.
The PRIDE program, which is behavioral-based safety, continues.
Sometimes you lose focus and you need that extra pat on the back, or hey, you need to put on your safety glasses.
And the CAT safety program is being added now,
which is a very progressive program in my opinion. It's a lot of employee involvement. How do we make the place better? How do we do things safer? How do we put systems in place that will work for us?
Dakota Gasification Company has faced many challenges, but the end goal is always in mind. Success means continuing to be a profitable addition to Basin Electric, and success comes because of teamwork.